Oh, hello, folks. I wasn't meant to go live yet, but I've kind of messed it all up a little bit. I've managed to delete my intro, so that went rather flat, didn't it? So we'll just have to chat for a few minutes until the live is due to be broadcast. You could probably see me. I'm trying to find how to re-add the intro, but hey, it's gone. How are you all? Are you well? Hello, Gemma. Hello, Carol. Hello, Carrie. Oh, I've got some little photos of you all on the side now. Oh, that's quite cool, isn't it? Hello, Emma. I know. Never mind. It just gives me more time to have a chat to you all. Apparently, it was the hottest day of the year today. Have you enjoyed it? I have to confess, Francis and I have been working away today, so I haven't really been out in it. Um, but have you? Have you been out? Have you been enjoying the sunshine? What are you all up to? I guess what I could also do whilst you're on live, while we're waiting for people to come, because we won't start till 6, is to show you what project we did for our bead along yesterday. Let's have a wee look, shall we? In fact, I'll show you the ones that we did for the last 2 bead alongs. So bead alongs are every Wednesday at midday. And this is the one we made yesterday. Nice and shiny. So we've got crystal rondelles, we've got hematite oblongs. And if you visit this, see this one? Yes, jewelry projects on my website, you can find access to all the materials as well on there. Do you know what? Normally in that 5 minutes that I do my intro, I get my lighting right. I'm going to have to put my lighting on in a minute because it's not very good. For those of you that missed the start, I managed to delete my intro. It started off very beautifully and then I thought, oh, what's that in the corner? I'll delete that. Anyway, hello, Sue. Carrie said, eye appointment at hospital this morning. Hope it went okay. Hello, Carol. I couldn't find you on Wednesday. I don't know what happened to the Facebook Live. It just went on YouTube for some reason. Hello, Linda. Let me show you the one for the previous Wednesday. And you can have a little look at these. Look, you can have a little look at these whilst I go and get my lighting sorted. Won't be a mo. Was that better? Is that lighting a bit better? There we go. Let's pop those there. Thank you to those that joined me for the bead along. Now, next week, we only have, oh, it's 6 o'clock already, so we can get started. So next week, I've got the Wednesday bead along. I don't have a live on Thursday because I'm a jewellery maker, and I'm not staying over at a hotel this time. I've probably told all of you before. I'm going up on the morning, which means I'm going to be absolutely pooped because I'm going to have to probably be up to get ready about 4:30 to leave around 5-ish. So I'm not going to do a live on the Thursday, just the Wednesday. And next week, we're going to do lucite flowers. So that'll be good. Hello, Jan. Thank you for joining. Right, let me show you tonight's project, shall I? I have to excuse the state of this bust. That wasn't a good move showing you the back. These, I upcycled my old ones that really were worse for wear with some Hessian. So this is what we're doing. Now you can also, let's put that to one side, you can also do this method on the wire coiling gizmo. Now I was going to buy some coiling gizmos to do some tutorials, but I'm going to be honest with you, none of my suppliers sell the coiling gizmos at the wholesale prices for me now. They don't even stock them, which is super disappointing because I love it. So for those of you that have got a coiling gizmo, I'll kind of, guide you as we go as to what you'd need to do. Very simple. But because we're not using the coiling gizmo, we're going to do it all manually, but it's actually quite straightforward. And the other thing we're going to be doing as well is a button fastening. And what colour? Right, let me show you the seed beads. So I've threaded the seed beads on. The seed beads are like an ochre yellow mustardy colour with a bit of red fleck in it. Do we go for that one to match the red fleck, or do we match that one? I'm kind of veering towards bright, that one. Let me know. And please, will you remind me a little bit later on, sort of towards the end, that I need to draw the winner for this month. So thank you to everybody that shares their makes, their craft creations, jewelry creations in our Beaders social group. And thank you to Kim and to Linda, Francis for, keeping the group going as well for us. Oh, you all like the red. Good, 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 good. Pleased about that. Right. Now, let's go on the overhead. Now, Jan mentioned very kindly to me, which I really appreciate all the feedback. Could I have a switch over of where I'm sat when I'm doing the live, i.e. the little box at the top? Now, I used to be on the left, but it's somehow switched over. Now, I'm kind of hoping that it's the right way around this time. Right. Is that correct? Or did you want me the other way round? Let me know if you want me in the other corner, because I think I know how to do it now. Right. Oh gosh. It's all going pear-shaped. It totally threw me off. Totally. There we go. Right. It was very discombobulating, I can tell you, losing that intro. Gives me a 5 minutes. You are in the top right hand, which is better. Good, 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 good. Let me know if it needs changing along the way. So what I've done is I've threaded on a stash of seed beads onto 0.8mm wire. These are Chinese non-branded seed beads. They are super cheap. I think they are £1 for 40 grams. I would imagine you're probably going to need about 30 grams for this project, but I haven't weighed it, unfortunately. So apologies for that. So I've got that ready. What we're going to do first of all is we're going to sort out this element. I also need Busy chatting away to myself. It's been a while since I've done this one, so you'll have to bear with. Hello, Sharon. Long time no see. I hope you're well. Right. Now, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strands. You've got to allow for the knotting as well. So let's measure the necklace and I'll tell you how long I've actually done it for. So the necklace measures 19.5 inches in total. So I am going to add 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. I am going to cut 24 inches in total, maybe 25. I think 25 will be better. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Yes, it does. Is it switched over? No, it hasn't switched over. It is in the right. The reason why I think it's switched over is because I've got 2 different platforms I switch between. That has confused me. Right. Now, bear with. What I'm doing is I'm going to actually put this into 6 equal parts. So to do that, I am going to bring all the ends together, like so, and then the other ends. So this is waxed cotton thread. I love working with the waxed cotton thread. Anything you've got to bear in mind is you can't burn this. You have to use nail varnish instead. So bring all of those together, and that makes 4 strands. And I think, well, that makes 8. I don't want 8, I want 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I'm very confused now. I'm getting all discombobulated. Right, I'm going to measure 6 lengths of 25 inches and cut them, because I'm getting all confused. It's that 5 minutes. It's really thrown me. Isn't it ridiculous? It's that zen, like a bit of zen time before I go live. We might have a shorter necklace, but hey. Right, 4. I wouldn't advise you go any more than the 6 layers, because you won't get it through the large hole beads that we're going to use. But do talk amongst yourselves. Have you used this waxed thread before? Third, I know, Jan, I think it's because I'm on live. I'm struggling to get my head around it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's rather good. So what you want to do first of all is get your button, whatever you're going to do, whatever button you're going to use, and you want to do an overhand knot. Right, let's go further on down. So let me show you what I'm doing. I'm actually not sure what I'm doing myself, I'm not going to lie. fills you with an awful lot of confidence. So I'm bringing all of these together and we're creating this loop at the end because we want to make sure that that loop fits over the button. So I'm just going to turn it over like so, and then I'm going to wrap it around my finger and push that through. Oh, I think we might need to rewind. Right, let's bring all of these together. I think probably the same whole length as we've got there so that it goes in. But do let me know, have you worked with this waxed thread before? How did you get on? Because we've done quite a few projects with it before. I tell you the other thing that we could do you know, I think this might be easier, is to tie an overhand knot one end, like so, like that, and then separate them so you've got 3 either side, and do it that way. Okay, so we can do this overhand here, and we can trim all of those off afterwards. Just double check before you pull it tight the fact that your button will fit in there. There we go. And at least then if we need to adjust, we can adjust at the end. Okay, and then we've got a couple of inches here before we do another knot. So we've got 2 1/4 inches before we create another knot, another overhand knot. So we're going to go over, two and a quarter. There we go. All right. So that simply will be where our button fastening is on one end. Now, next stage is we are going to create this little effect here. So I've threaded it all onto the 0.8 wires, or 0.8 wire. It's the bit that takes the longest, to be honest, is the threading on. Oops. Okie dokie. Now, if you were doing this on the coiling gizmo, what you do is you attach that coiling gizmo onto the gizmo, rather, one end, and then you'd start to wind. Now, first of all, I'm going to have a tail. Now, I'm going to measure how long I've actually done this. I keep dropping. God, this is like a flipping comedy sketch tonight. I hope you're finding this very entertaining. Oh dear, dear. So I've threaded on about 30 inches of beads. I may need to put more on. Right. So we're going to lay that alongside this wire, or this thread, I should say. Let's tidy this up a little bit. Also got a few more beads to go on. But would love to know if you're still with me. I haven't bored the pants off you all yet. Right. Lay that across that knot, and then we are going to do a few wire wraps on the end. Just to secure it in place. Okie dokie. You've gone really quiet on me. Are you still all with me? And then what we start to do is to coil it around the thread. Hello, Nikki. That is no problem at all. You haven't missed a thing. I can say not much anyway. So we are going to go round this. Try and keep a tight tension on it. Now, the other way that you can do it is actually you could do it around a cocktail stick if you want to, or a kebab stick, or a knitting needle. The only reason why I did it this way is because I found that it was really, really difficult to actually get the threads in the middle of this afterwards. Jan's still here, Nikki's still here. Thank you. Thank you for being with me. So you can also use, you can use any size seed beads really. You might want to use thinner wire if you're using maybe size 10, size 11 seed beads, because you won't be able to get it on. So there we are. We keep going with that. So once you get going, it's actually not that difficult. Now, what I've done on this one is I've actually popped a large hole bead on there as a decoration. Now I'm just going to do it a little bit further down. It shows 9 watching. I think there's, well, I've got 12, which is a bonus. We've got some on YouTube as well. Hello, Maxine. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for a second, and I am not sure whether or not I'm going to have to stop this and wire wrap it and restart it. Probably making no sense. Couldn't find me on Facebook. It's on the page. It should be anyway. So this is one of the large hole beads I've got. It's got love written on it. It's going to thread that up. And we just, I think we're going to need to tie that off and do a few wire wraps on that. Like so. You still see. Oh, you found me on there now, have you? You got me on both. Right. So let's just trim that. Now, I don't want to lose those seed beads. Okay, so we've got that on there. So we've got a nice large hole decorative bead. So then we need to reattach this wire. So I'm going to have a tail on there. Wrap that round. So the tail is sitting underneath my thumb in my non-dominant hand. I think this project is more fiddly than anything else, and I'm really not been making it look very easy. But it's okay, honestly, it really is. So we're just going to keep hold of that for a wee bit longer, that tail, whilst we get this going again. And if you actually turn the wires, it does go on a little bit easier. So do have a look on the website, because I've got 3 different colours in the Chinese seed beads. They're size 8. They're not regular, which is fine for this sort of project, simply because you're not doing any bead weaving. So there's no precision required with regards to the size of the beads. So I'm just twisting this around. I think I'm going to need more seed beads. Worst case scenario that you haven't got enough seed beads on, then you can just cut an extra length of wire and just rethread on the other side, because at the moment this is attached to my wire reel. So let's just have a look where we're at the moment. It's probably not one of my favourite colours, but I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I think it works quite nicely with the burgundy colour. There we go. So once you get into a rhythm, it's actually fairly easy. There we go. Works great with the red. Yeah, I think it would be too it'd be too yellow, wouldn't it? I think with the ochre thread. It definitely gives it a bit of a lift. It's really important as well that you create a tight tension with regards to your seed beads. And what you're avoiding, or you're trying to avoid doing, is having any gaps with the seed beads. So how many of you have a wire gizmo? I love the wire gizmo. I think it's a brilliant invention. I know Jewellery Maker have got some. I tell you what, Jewellery Maker is selling them for the price that I'd normally pay for wholesale. So if you do want to invest in one, then hop on over there, because I think they're about £7. Really, really good price. Sharon says, is it hard on the hands? It's not actually, Sharon. The only bit that's slightly more difficult on your hands is just getting it anchored at the start. But if you have any dexterity problems or pains in your hands that it might create at the start, is just switch down to 0.6mm wire. So Jan has got a wire gizmo. It's so good. It is marvellous. Carol has a gizmo, only used it once or twice. Do try this. What you could always do is maybe have a needle that you actually push down, push the threads down once you've created it on the gizmo, or maybe have a bigger mandrel, bigger size mandrel. See, you've all got the gizmos. Sue's got one. I will stock them again once one of my suppliers, if they do. But I suppose it's trends. But I know the wire gizmo has played a role at Jewellery Maker recently. Right, so that's where we're at the moment, which is, it's actually quite neat just doing that by hand. So how does that compare on this one? So we're going to need a little bit more. So I'm just going to give myself plenty of wire to work with. And I'm just going to add some more seed beads to thread on. So Nikki got one from the Jewellery Detash. Sharon's never used her gizmo but loved the effects. I just think the gizmo's amazing. Also, you can use the gizmo with wire wrapping as well. It's absolutely marvellous. I love it. So this is how I thread them on. The good thing is, with having the other end loose now, is I can just keep adding as I'm going. The only problem, of course, is the fact that I've got one end open, which kind of leaves it a little bit open to your beads falling off. So I will just create a little loop at the bottom before I start coiling again. So I'd say I've probably got 3/4 to a metre of spare wire. I don't want that one. Oh, that's a good shout. Completely forgotten about that. Jan is saying she makes her own jump rings with hers. Brilliant idea. Especially if you want sterling silver as well. A great shout. Do you know, I'd forgotten about that, because I often make some of my own jump rings because I find they're really, really expensive to buy your own jump rings in sterling silver. They're much cheaper to make your own. Put a cork on. What do we put a cork on, Vicky? A cork on the end of the wire? I'm with you now. Right, add a little bit more on. Yeah, it is really quick, and you can do different sizes as well, can't you? Just going to add some more on. There we go. But I have to confess, I actually got this idea from a necklace in a charity shop. I didn't buy it. I should have done, really, but I didn't feel I needed to. It was just, I got the inspiration of this look. It's kind of a bit of an African, you know, African influenced jewellery, I think. That's what it reminds me of. Right, still some more. It takes a fair old few seed beads. But if any of you have got irregular shaped seed beads that you just can't use for like your bead weaving projects because you need them to be quite similar in terms of size, then this is an ideal project to do them with. That's a really good question. Nikki is saying it doesn't have to go on wax thread, does it? Not at all. No, you can whatever thread you like. You just got to adjust accordingly, really, your design, if you need to, with regards to the width. But I find it a lot easier to twist this rather than keep turning everything else. Right, I am going to make this one. Let me see how long this one is. Slightly longer. Right, I'm going to cut that one a bit short So I'm now going to add the, oops, let's just tighten that up. There's a gap in the seed bead. So I'm going to add the other large bead the other end. Also, just try and copy how many coils you've got the other end so they marry up. We can tidy that up afterwards. That's very true. Sharon's saying it might be fun with a bead soup. Absolutely. I was thinking of rope, the width of a child's skipping rope. Do you know, actually, I think that would work really well, Nikki, because it's nice and chunky. The only thing you might want to think about is if you've got something that thick, is you might want to think about doing glue ends rather than a button end. Right, so let's pop that on. What I love about these particular beads is that they will just, within reason, fit over that wire, so it hides those little wiry bits. So again, we're just going to hold that under our thumb, do a couple of wire wraps, and then we'll add on. Oh no, that's an idea. Kim said would make good curtain tie backs. I am loving that idea. Yes, and your button fastening would work really, really well with that as well, wouldn't it? Hello, Jackie. Thank you for joining. Nice to see that we've got a bit of a mixture with some of you watching on YouTube, some of you watching on Facebook. But whether you're with me now, whether you're watching a bit later on, do give me a thumbs up, do pop me a comment. And if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be amazing. If you could also join my newsletter on my website as well, that would be great. So just a reminder where you can find the link for all of these materials is on the website, and on one of the banners at the top you've got jewelry projects, and I put photographs and links up of all the bits and pieces that we use for this project as well. But these are really nice. They're a bit like candy cane. Got lots of beautiful buttons on as well. I'll try and remember to show you some of them. But so many of us have a box of buttons, don't we? Right, let's just use what we've got there so far. Makes it certainly quite nice and sturdy. Oops. I'll just pop a little comment up from Nikki whilst I'm doing this so that you can have a little read. So you coil the end of the rope and glue the last 5 coils and spiral the beads onto the rope, then sew on a button and attach a loop the other. Oh, nice. So what do you attach the loop with, Nikki? How do you attach that, and what sort of thread do you use? This is if you're using sort of thicker rope type thread, Nikki's suggesting. Right, nearly there. That's quite neat though, isn't it? You know, it's not a difficult thing to do. I think the most difficult thing, as you saw, was actually working out the lengths at the start, which really discombobulated me. And just getting started with the wire as well. But if in any doubt at all, just use a finer wire. But I wouldn't go any less than 0.6, because I think what might happen is you might actually lose some of the solid feel of the necklace. You know, it might come out of shape a bit easier. Just want to make sure that marries up the other side. Not too much left to do. So Nikki's just saying a loop of beads and use the wire to attach. Oh, I'm with you. Okay. Nice alternative. Right, just a wee bit more. Right, tiny bit more. Right, and then let's just finish off with a few coils at the end. And then we're going to just tidy up with your side cutters. Let's tidy up this one as well. Necklace and a matching bracelet, Nikki's saying. Good show. Right. Let's just show you where we're at. There we go. So you've got those nice detailed beads there. And then what we want is another overhand knot here. I think I did that off camera, sorry, wasn't intentional. How have I done this one? Now, I might have to adjust the other side a little bit. Another overhand knot. These little bits at the end really are not my forte. And then I think we'll have to adjust the other one as well to match the other side. Now, let's tidy this up a little bit. So we thread a couple of those the other side. I'm inclined to actually cut 2 of those off. Let me just show you what I've done. 2 through there, 2 hanging out, 2 over the top. And top tip from me is to have more thread, because I've not really left myself with enough. So what I might do is a little whipping knot on that. Let's try seeing if we can get that through. Oh dear. Right, let's take this back a little bit. I knew it wouldn't go smoothly tonight. Right, let's have the longest threads. Right, just try and thread these on, or thread this through. You wouldn't actually be able to get 3 through there anyway. Right, so the moral of tonight is that you cut yourself more than 25 inches. I would go more in line with maybe 30. Don't leave yourself short like I have. Right. Now, I would obviously tidy all of that up, trim all of these off, which we'll do in a second, but I need to get the other side to match. How are you all doing? No problem, Kim. Hope you're okay. Right, let's just take this back a little bit. So we're just going to marry those up together. There we go. And then we can undo this one. Maybe just undo it slightly if we can. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'll undo the whole lot. And just make sure that'll fit in there. Right, so let's just tidy up. Let's tidy up all the ends and make it look presentable. But let me know if, within reason, despite all the little blips we've had along the way, if you followed that okay. And gave you any inspiration to do any similar makes. So this is the one I made earlier. Let's just leave that there for a second. This is the one we've made tonight. And I'm just going to go and get some nail varnish so that we can just tidy up those ends there. It's not too far away from me. Every jewellery maker's go-to, isn't it? Right. If you're worried about the security of it, you could always put a dab of E6000 glue, just sort of discreetly in the knots as well. Oh, there we go. Let's tidy that up. So it's more the end knots that you really need a bit of security on, but be careful that you don't create any, how can I put it, lumps and bumps that might be against your skin with regards to the nail varnish. You want it to be nice and smooth, so don't overcoat it. Okay, so that's that, and let's pop it on the bust. This is a bit small. I'm not going to lie, this is a choker. It's a choker necklace, but you get the gist of it. Woo! So it's actually it's quite nice, the actual concept of it. It would be a little bit tight for me, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, actually, it's not, I mean, it's a horrible colour on me. It's not a horrible colour. It's just not a very nice colour on me because it's not my thing. Yellow doesn't really do a great deal for me. So there we go. So this is the other one, just to re-show you that one. That's a much better length. Much better length indeed. So let me show you some of the buttons that we've got as well. And before we all go, we will do our little giveaway as well. So we've got these beautiful buttons. Those are your 13mm. I think these are 40p for two. They're little shell buttons. The 18mm. Aren't they lovely? And 16mm. Beautiful ones. And lots of different metal ones as well. Right. So, I hope you found that okay. Hopefully you got the gist of it. Let's pull up our spinny thing, our spinny wheel. I've keyed in all of the names, okay? So this is for all of each of these entries is each time someone has posted in our bead times that you've actually posted. And then at the end of the month or beginning of next, as is now, we enter you into a prize draw to win £5. So let's see who's going to be our winner. Now, it might look slightly different on the pin, but the actual screen brings up the nominated winner. So Nora is our winner. I'm not sure if Nora is watching with us tonight. So congratulations, Nora. So pop me a note in the comments to let me know how that was for you tonight. Yes, congratulations, Nora. And I think that's everything for tonight. Like I say, next week we're going to be working with some lucite flowers in our Wednesday bead along project. And then I'm in Jewelry Maker on Thursday. So it's got quite a full week next week. So anyway, gonna love you and leave you. Speak to you all very, very soon. I'm going to see if my outro works this time. Oh, does it? Yes, I think it does. I'll try not to delete this one. Take care, everyone.